Hey everyone. Today let's talk about why business aviation is needed to innovate the aviation industry. And we're going to focus particularly on how we're going to reach net zero emissions by 2050. I know what you're going to say. This market is only for rich people and their toys, but if you actually dive into the industry, you'll see why this really isn't true. So obviously, anything in aerospace isn't cheap. Every component and input into the industry takes a lot of money to develop and produce at scale. When these products are finally approved and come into the market, aircraft like this one, with all its inputs combined as a whole, are expensive. This PC-24, for example, is around $9 million USD. So when you think about something that is needed to begin to decarbonize the aviation industry, like say sustainable aviation fuel, that needs to be developed in new methods, infrastructure built, renewable biomass accumulated, produced at scale for an industry that burns around 95 billion gallons at its peak, it isn't an easy order to fill and a very expensive venture. In 2022, the total SAF output was around 80 million gallons. This is a far cry from what's needed to fill the tanks of a thirsty industry like aviation. The cost of inputs and investment in production of SAF, as well as shipping, makes the price per gallon quite high, and this is what's known as a scarce resource. Today, SAF has an average price of $9.27 USD per gallon, which is significantly higher than the average Jet A price of $6.55 per gallon. So who's willing to pay this difference? Airlines and their passengers? Well, an airline can't obtain enough SAF from the current supply to make any dent in their operations. Even if they did, they have to maintain a ticket price for customers to keep paying for their services. So they can occasionally blend a small percentage of SAF into the tank with regular Jet A on a certain more affordable route, but that will rise the ticket price for that flight at least a bit. So with the price that high, who's left to push this new expensive fuel along? To buy and use it for its intended purpose? Well, that's where business aviation comes in. Business jet operators and owners purchase SAF. Those funds help finance the growing production and expansion of sustainable aviation fuel into the future. Business aviation has a long history of supporting aviation innovation. These include pioneering and innovating regional aircraft jet design, modernizing the aircraft development process throughout the 1950s and beyond, launching logistics companies like FedEx through business aircraft speeds and capabilities, improving the fuel economy and technology for stronger and smaller engines with greater ranges. Even some safety systems used on fighter jets can be traced back to innovations in business aviation. The list goes on. So I know a lot of what we're working on today to build sustainable aviation technologies like electric and hydrogen aircraft, as well as pushing into urban air mobility, will be initially backed by the business aviation market. This will provide an initial support to push these innovations forward into the future for all of us to enjoy. That's it for today. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions on anything we've covered here today. Until next time, everyone, remember, if you need any help considering your options in business aviation, drop me a line at Crimson Air Services. And as always, I wish you blue skies.